Are you struggling to get enough time in the pocket to make the throws that you want? Are you struggling to block every blitz that's out there? Don't worry guys, we got you covered. This is AntCap24 from HuddleGG. In this video, we're going to give you a complete guide to pass protection to make sure that you're an elite passer and do anything you want on the offensive side of the ball.
All right guys, we got this. Let's go gun wide trips deep. Pros X go on one. Ready? Ready.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is pass protection. That is the most crucial part of being a consistent offensive player and better passer. Without it, it doesn't matter if you've got the best reads, doesn't matter if you design the best plays. If you don't have the time to throw, you're not going to consistently move the ball and have a lot of success. So the first thing we're going to talk about in the first tip is understanding pass protection play art and how it is shown on the plays that we pick. Now, the first and most common way are these that I call the long T's. If you look at my O-line, they're all got these white lines that basically have that T if you look at it upside down. And that's going to indicate that our players are trying to make and form a pocket. This is going to be designed for a 5-step drop if you're under center. It's going to be a 3-step drop if you are in shotgun. And the idea behind this is the O-line is expecting you to step up in the pocket. They are protecting you outside in, right? And so what's going to happen is your tackles are going to give up more depth on their drop back, and they're not going to initially touch the defensive ends or outside linebackers until a much deeper positioning. Now, that does a great job if you go ahead and you utilize it the way it's supposed to. If you continue to go backwards, or if you move your quarterback in a way that gives the pass rushing angles a little bit better opportunity, you're going to struggle with this, and this is where you're going to get most sacks. If I hike the ball, what you're going to see is our guys are going to drop back. Now you're going to want to step up in the pocket, and then you're going to go ahead and fire and find your player. Now this is the way it is intended to go. Now the next play I'm going to show you here, and I'm going to call stick. Okay, stick is going to show you these new types of T's, which is going to be what I call the tiny T's. Now this is indicated to where if you're in shotgun, it's supposed to be a quick hitting play. It's supposed to get the ball out of your hand quickly. Those guys are going to protect a little bit more inside out. And what's really nice about this is that they're going to attack their players a lot quicker, giving you the indication that you're going to have more time. So if I go like this, you're going to see our guys going to come quicker. We're still going to be able to kind of go here and navigate the pocket and be able to go and make the throw. If you look on the replay here, what you're going to see is this outside guy is going to go ahead and attack his defensive end right here a little bit quicker. And you're going to see here that he's going to meet him at that 2 to 3 yard mark rather than the 4 to 5 yard mark he would with the long T's, allowing us to get the engagement to where if he goes ahead and gets off of that shed, it's going to be from a different angle and much wider. We can still go ahead and navigate the pocket, but you can see how that pass protection was a lot better than it would have been with the long T's. The next type of protection is going to be the pistol T's, which are going to look a lot like the short T's, but you're going to have the benefit of being in pistol formations to where oftentimes you're going to have better route combinations that attack down the field if you want that to be part of your priority. And plus you've got the quarterback that's a little bit closer to line of scrimmage, so it's a little bit tougher for players to get to him initially on outside type of angles. And then you got the running back in the middle. However, this offensive protection is an inside-out type. You're going to protect the inside first, and then slot corners that are coming from a lot wider position are going to be tougher to block because we're not getting that same drop on our tackles, right? So this will be a smaller pocket because we're not forming that big arch that we did with the long T's, but you're going to see here that we're going to be able to kind of step up, use our double teams in our favor, throw this ball. You can see how we're going to get, the protection that we need in order to make it set up. So this is definitely a nice one to get a little bit more yards when it comes to using those T's to your advantage. Now, the last style of pass protection is going to be this attack T, where you're going to see that they don't actually go back, they go forward, and it's going to basically be a run because it's a play action. There are other play actions that have those deep T's, so don't get fooled there. But this one is going to be one that attacks. And what's great about this is that they're going to attack them at the line of scrimmage. It's going to look like it's going to be a run. And oftentimes it's going to be your best protection because it's going to not allow anybody to really get any initial pass rush moves. But once they get off the pass rush, they're going to have a little bit better opportunity of attacking you because they haven't got any depth on their pass. So you have to navigate it a little bit differently. So I'll just show you what I mean. We get these guys and they get stood up right away. We're waiting on this, waiting on this. We got plenty of time and we're good to go. Now I want to show you here on instant replay what I mean by why you're gonna have initial time, it's gonna be better, but once they get off, it's gonna be quicker at you, right? Okay? So what happens here is all these guys attack, right? They get them at the basically line of scrimmage. If you look at it, we got plenty of time. But as soon as they go ahead and get off of their blocks, you see how this guy's gonna come here, right? And he's coming right off them really, really quickly. So it's one of those deals that you wanna make sure that you are understanding that this is gonna give you the best time, but once they do, you wanna get off of that, you wanna throw it. So while this is going to give you the best protection, it also gives you the opportunity to know that you're on a timer once they get off. That's the way you're going to read the different types of play arts when it comes to what is at your disposal and what the pros and cons are going to be when you use them in game. The next tip that I'm going to talk about when it comes to protecting the quarterback is to understand the pass protection menu that you're able to pull up pre-snap with the left bumper. Now this is new for college football and for Madden, where they're actually going to give you the play art of who your player is targeting by just pulling this up. Now this is without doing any adjustments. I'm not talking about the gray box on the right. I just want you to talk about what it looks like where you know if you don't do anything, you don't slide, you don't double team, you don't ID, this is who you should expect your players to target. So let's break down what this information is actually giving you. If you look at the red colors, those are going to indicate single one-on-one interactions, right? They're going to target that player and only that player at the moment, and they're basically going to go ahead and just do a one-on-one. And whenever you see a blue, what they're basically saying is that they've got more than one responsibility. They're going to double team that defensive tackle. And then if that Mike defender that has the M over his head blitzes, they're going to basically pass off one of their blockers to him while the other one gets the defensive tackle. So when you're indicating the Mike and everything like that, what we're saying is we've got 5 guys closest to the ball that we want to defend from a pickup of blitz standpoint. Those are the guys that we're indicating. So I'm not actually putting my running back on a block or setting him out. If I was to go ahead and blitz that Mike defender, what you're going to see is that the player indicated here is going to double team the defensive tackle and then pick him up while everybody else is getting picked up. We're getting everybody to target correctly. See how everybody target correctly, I throw the ball away. That's all we're looking for when it comes to this, is we want to make sure that we understand who is going to be blocked by who. Okay, so you see here, everybody gets a hat on a hat. Our 2 players in the middle double team, and then they go ahead and pass them off. Everybody is accounted for when it comes to the first 5 threats. Now, if you go ahead and look at this a little bit closer, you're going to see that there's these 2 icons that have this orange triangle with the white flame in the middle. What that's saying is if they send the first 5 that we are basically accounting for, right? So the 4 down linemen plus the Mike, if they send 1 more player, he will not get blocked. Those are the guys that we're okay with not getting blocked when we don't put extra resources to blocking them, right? So if I was to go ahead and put this Mike defender on a blitz, and I'm also going to blitz the Y defender and put those guys both in, the Y defender is the one that we're saying we're okay not blocking him. We're either going to throw it hot or we're going to take the sack because we misread who's coming, right? So if I was to do this, I said, you know what, that guy is going to be coming. I'm going to go ahead and put the Y on a streak, knowing that if both those guys come from the left, there's a good chance that I'm going to be able to throw it hot to him, right? I'll hike this ball, come through here. Now we're going to be able to throw it to this guy, and we got our catch. Now let me show you what happened as far as the pickup so you understand, right? So we said we're still going to pick up the defensive tackle with 2 players. We're going to slide over to the Mike, which we did exactly that. And the one guy that would have came in is this guy over here. Nobody's got him as far as an assignment to target him. These guys are targeted. Now, if this guy doesn't come through, that's basically just didn't have a hold come through, right? We're talking about who everybody's targeting. If I would have held on to this ball longer, 13 would have came in because nobody had him as their assignment, okay? So that's what that's basically saying. Now, if I go one step further with this and say, you know what, if I go ahead and blitz this player, the A, and not blitz the Mike, right? What you're going to see in this situation is now EA for some reason or another, gives us the information that says, don't worry about the mic. We know that the other guy's blitzing, and we're going to go ahead and let you go from a double team to that player. Now, when I say targeting versus picking up, they're two different things. Targeting means that's what they're intending on getting. Now, if you see that if these guys double team that defensive tackle, there's a good chance that guy from the right is going to be able to hit that gap by the time that guy comes off of the double team. So we need to make sure that just because that makes sense from I got everybody covered doesn't mean that they're actually going to be able to get to that player based upon speed, based upon angles, based upon that. That's where the pass protection menu will come up for the next tip. If I look at this, I say that guy's coming, there's a 50-50 chance that we can pick him up because of the way that we're asking this guy to double team the defensive tackle and then get over, okay? So if I hike this ball, we're gonna double team. That time he went ahead and got him over, we're good, right? So he was able to recognize that player is gonna be his threat. He said, you know what? I don't need to go ahead and double team it. So he looks over there initially, and he was gonna go inside on the double team, said, oh, that guy's hot. Let me go over there, let me pick him up. So just understanding that sometimes will happen, sometimes it won't, depending on where that guy's blitzing from. When it comes to reading this menu, that's what we want you to understand is what it says, and now we have the ability to change our outcome with the pass protection for the next tip. So now we're going to be looking at the pass protection menu and actually looking inside the green box and talking about the full slides and the half slides and the base and the empty, as those are all things that were added to college football that never been in Madden before. So full slide, it's going to be real simple. I'm going to make sure you understand it. All it is that we're going to tell our 5 O-linemen and say, listen, we want you to slide over one gap to whatever side we slide you to. And when we do it, it does not matter if our running back is on a route. He is going to be a 6th man in protection, and he's going to fill our outside player. Okay, so what does that mean? If I go ahead and slide left, you're going to see everybody's going to go left, and then our running back automatically fills that outside player. If I slide right, everybody goes right, and he automatically slides and gets that outside player. Now, this is an easy one to show in mid-blitz because you're 6 guys across the field. If I was to push these guys back out and make it more like a 4-2 look, what you're going to see here is if I look at this, it's going to basically be the same thing. When I slide right, I'm telling my left tackle basically that I really don't want you to go left. That's going to be your responsibility for your running back, and vice versa. If I slide left, full slide left, I'm telling my right tackle I don't want you to target that outside guy. Now, when would this be a good idea? Maybe when you start seeing people that are taking this B player and they're putting him in a hard flat over here, just so that they don't have to, say they're doing something like this where put these guys here, and they just don't want to have to cover the running back. They want to be free, so they're putting that guy in a hard flat. Well, if we full slide left, right, and we do this like this, we know that we basically, depending on how this guy is, whatever, we know if that guy is not going out, then we want our guys in the right spots. We hike the ball, everybody's in the same spot. You basically kind of, do it that way, right? So it's just one of those deals to where if they're being very, very habitual with their defenses, you can definitely use it to your advantage, to where you have your running back, blocking somebody that's not actually coming in, right? So that's where those full slides are. Now, obviously, in overload blitzes, that's going to be good, where, maybe in a situation to where maybe this guy comes down, he's blitzing, off the side, right? So this guy would be the LB, he's blitzing off the side, and, maybe they're doing something like this to where they got an overload blitz over there, and, I'm just trying to show you from this is going to be the user, right? And so they're blitzing that side, and you say, I absolutely need a full slide that way, so all my good blockers go that way, and then in case they still go in there, I got to do it this way, right? So I hike the ball, everybody is getting covered from that side, and you can see how we're going to be able to do that, right? Obviously, I'm not trying to throw it, I'm just trying to show you what we're doing, but if you know that they're sending overload blitzes, you want to get your best players to go left, and you say, everybody slide over one, you're all going to basically be able to string that out. We were able to kind of have this ability to, set up that wall, and, if I would have been able to throw the guy to the left if I wanted to, I just want to kind of show it to you, and basically that's how that works. Now let's talk about half slides, right? Now half slides is really going to be predicated on your center over. So if I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to half slide to the left, then I'm just going to tell everybody, let's go all the way go left, and now we've got our running back that's going to fill the extra spot, okay? That's basically all it is. Now if I'm going to half slide to the right, what you're gonna say is I want everybody to go right, and then have my running back fill that extra spot. If I was to go ahead and if I can move this guy over, and I go ahead and I half slide, if I look at my thing, when I half slide to the right this time, you can see that because my running back wasn't on the right side, everybody went to that gap. Just because my running back was on the right at the time, that's why. So if I go ahead and half slide to the right, or half slide to the left, you can see how basically it changes based upon where your targeting goes. Okay, so that's basically how the half slides and the full slides go. When you're facing normal defenses, when I say normal, like, you know, things that are they're not double mugs and all that type of stuff, there's less people on there. You're going to see a lot of times when you do half slides, what you're really looking to do is like, you know, let's target to the right and let's leave our running back for the backside player. And when you see this, you're going to see that we're talking about the backside blitzer. Not if there's only 4 down linemen, your linemen are going to take the lineman first. Your running back's going to take that second level. It just wasn't that way when we did double mug because everybody was on the line. That's where the half slides really work well, is that you're saying, you know what, I want to go ahead and make sure that I protect myself, you know, from this side. This is where they can have an overload. They got maybe numbers over there, and I want to make sure that I still have protection on the back side. That's basically how that would work. You know, something like this to where maybe they've got an extra player over here, right? And you're like, okay, they definitely got numbers over that right side. I want to make sure that if I half slide to the right, and you've got the numbers, you're going to see that that player that may be coming, we can go ahead and either do one or two things, right? We can go ahead and, you know, change our protection so now he's got him and we leave the left guy open, or we leave it the way it is depending on how we ID our players. Okay, so that's basically how those menus work. So now we're going to talk about neutralizing a star on their team. Maybe they got somebody who's dominating you and you need to make sure that you double team that guy, get him out, but still have enough protection, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this player over here and say more. He's an outside linebacker here in this situation, standing up. What we're going to do here is we're going to look at our player by pressing the LB. You're going to see that it's right now, if we don't do anything, we're going to have a single team on him. We're actually doubling up the defensive tackle on the right. What we're going to do is we're going to actually half slide towards him so we get our running back involved to help us on the back side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to double team him by pressing the right stick down. Then we're going to press the A, and after we move the cursor to him, and then we're going to press the A. So when you look at it again, now you're going to see that we've got a hat on the hat, have our ability to, in case they blitz anybody from the left, and we're going to have 2 players on him. Now, if you look at my play up here, you're going to notice that when I actually did the play originally, it was going to be those tiny T's. See how the 2 guys on the left are the tiny T's? These guys are actually doing the tiny T, and they're basically, you know, rolling to the right here. So we get these guys, we get them early, stay on this ball. You see how we're going to have absolutely great protection and make sure that the guy that is the one guy that's been killing us, being able to neutralize them. So you see here, the reason why I picked the tiny T's in this situation is because we want our first player to get him as soon as we can so the other guy can kind of help out, right? You can see how that basically works. We got them both there. If we let that guy get too far back, then it ends up being where he might be able to turn the corner and we never get the help that we want. So you can see here, we finally get the help. And now you can see that we're just going to be able to kind of hold our ground, throw it to our open man, and we had, you know, excellent protection on that. Now, what if we don't want to double him and we want to make sure that we have extra help? So what we can always do is put the running back on this side, right? And then what we can do here is we just go block the running back. I want to press the LB. You're going to see that our player is actually targeting somebody to the right, okay? And why is that important? Well, if his eyes are to the right, our running back, and he is in a spot to where that person does not blitz, he is going to sit and look for that guy on the right. He's going to help us out with any type of, wins by that outside guy, where he's going to be in a spot that if he gets beat, we're going to be able to do it. So if I hike this ball again, I'll just go ahead and do kind of what I did last time, just kind of put the guy in a corner. You're going to watch this guy, and you can see here that we had extra protection. I'm going to tell you why we knew he had extra protection, okay? Now, this is getting your running back involved without actually asking the double team. By putting him on the same side as the tackle and making sure that his focus was on the nickel corner, that slot corner over there, he was going to look over there looking for anybody. Now, you see how he sets himself up? He's not looking for any threats in the middle of the field. He's looking for threats on the right. And when we do that, you can see here that once he realizes that the guy's not blitzing, he is going to help us. You see how he basically went ahead, sealed off that block there just by helping out right there, and we were able to throw that ball. So if we have a problem of stopping somebody who's beating us to the outside, put your running back on that side and have him basically put his attention to a player that's to the outside, so he's going to be more likely to help you and basically stop that guy in that regard when you want to basically seal off that area and have you be able to throw down the field. Now, the last thing we're talking about is, like, say they've got two players that are studs in the middle, defensive tackles, right? So we go here, you see how we have the blue already there that we're going to double team that defensive tackle. Well, what if we want to double team this defensive tackle as well? Okay, we set the double team. Now you're going to see that we went ahead and we only got the one double team. We didn't get the second double team, right? So if we go ahead and we full slide to the right, okay, again, we're only going to be able to double team one player, not the other. Now you have to look and say, what do I need to do to make sure that I get two double teams, right? Well, problem is that if we try to keep on doing this, we don't have enough assets. What I mean by that is we've only got 6 players and we're going to try to double team them. They have to have players that are going to be that. Now, the one thing I could do is if I go ahead and I ID the mic on this player over here, I want to show you this guy over here, and I do this, and I go ahead and look at it. Our player, this guy, the right guard, if the guy doesn't blitz on the right, he's going to help us and double team the left guy because he's basically going to help the nearest person. So if I hike the ball, what you're going to see is that these guys both get double teamed. I'm going to kind of go up here, throw this ball here. But what I wanted to show you was we went ahead and identified one of our double team. And what we did, like we did last time, where we put the running back on the, looking at the player that we knew wasn't blitzing, that's what we did with the center. So once we saw that that guy wasn't blitzing, both our guys were going to double team those two defensive tackles because they were looking for work. So you can see how we created that whole big pocket for us to step up in. Now, I ended up seeing the leverage there, so I kind of stepped up there. But you're going to see that we had all day. I just kind of played with it. But that's how you're going to be able to help yourself with two double teams when you know that the secondary level isn't blitzing. Or you go ahead and you ID the mic of the user, knowing that that guy is not going to come and blitz. That's going to help our guy basically look for work afterwards and allows us to have two double teams in the middle of the field. So this last tip, guys, is going to be all about pocket presence, how to navigate the pocket in the best way possible to help out your O-line. I'm going to show you a drill that I like to do, but here's the idea behind it. You're going to have 4 down linemen that are going to come at you the majority of the game. What you want to do is you want to look at their movements, look at their leverage. If they're winning to the outside, we know we're going to have to step up so that our linemen can basically reposition themselves to when they retarget your quarterback, they can recover their block. If they're going to the inside, say defensive tackle is winning to the inside, we need to kind of drift away from that towards the outside so that our guard can basically go ahead and reposition himself again to regain the block when he changes his path towards the quarterback. So what we do here to kind of give us the reps and the opportunity to get better at this, we'll go into practice mode, we'll do a drill. All I'm going to do is go into my audible, so you can see that I've got the tiny T's right now. I'll go ahead and put one that's got the long T's. I'll go ahead and put one that's got the play action. And this gives me all the types of blocking that I'm going to see. And I'm just going to do this where I'm going to put both the inside slots on crossers, both the outside guys on fades, and I'm going to block my running back. The idea behind this drill is not about throwing the ball. It's about trying to buy as much time as possible to where, in my mind, I can get the crossers to go to the numbers. That means that I bought a really the most amount of time that I could possibly do, and I'll throw it to them. If not, I'm going to try to get as much time as possible reading the defensive line to know, should I go right, should I go left, should I go up, should I go back, and try to navigate there to get my most time. So watch what we're doing here. Go through this. You see this here. You're going to see that we actually had a pretty good rep here, and we got our reward by throwing it, okay? So what you're going to see is that we ended up having 2 really good solid blocks, right? The first thing you're going to see here is that at this point, I'm reading, I'm like, nobody's getting an insta-win, we're good. We're in good shape right here. I don't have to, if I move back anymore, then you're going to see that the guys on the outside are basically disengaged. So at this point, I got to start climbing the pocket. But you see, I don't overreact like I have to move because there's no real movement at this point that says our guys are in trouble. Now I'm here. I know at some point if I stay in that spot, it's gonna be a little bit tougher. But you see, when I see that our guy is basically double teamed in front of us on the left, I'm gonna use that to our advantage and slide up, slide up, slide up. So that way when I have the ability to throw it, I'm gonna be in good shape and throw it, okay? So that was a really good rep. That was our play action rep. Now we're gonna do this on the short tees, right? And I'm not expected to have perfect reps like that. That was actually really good blocking. There's gonna be times where we can't help that. So we're gonna go ahead and look at this again. Look at here, gonna go up here. Now we're gonna go this way with it. And now we're gonna throw this ball over here, okay? Now I'm gonna show you basically what I was looking for there as well as they come and get us, right? So again, we actually had some pretty decent blocks on the outside. You see right now, number 60 was the first one that had a problem, and he started going towards the inside. See that? And then I saw that big hand, and I said, sometimes he'll club him to where the guy goes to the inside. But at this point, he regained it, right? Now we're in a good spot. We were able to hold it. Now, if I stay here, I'm gonna start going up because I see my guys are all in good spots. And then as soon as I come up, now I'm gonna throw it. Now, sometimes if you stay back, they're gonna release. So that's why I go ahead and do my best to work the pocket up the field. Here's gonna be the long tees. Now this is gonna be the hardest one. We always talk about this is gonna be the hardest one because we're gonna have our outside guys basically give up a lot of ground here. So we'll go ahead and look at this now. Just this, now we're waiting on this, we're waiting on this, we're waiting on this, waiting on this. And you're gonna see that we just didn't end up getting the rep that we wanted, but there wasn't anything we did wrong with our quarterback, right? What we're doing here is you're seeing that we were able to kind of step up. We saw that we had the double team, but our guy over here, number 91, came off the block and came us backside. At this point, we're gonna get rid of the ball, but that's not part of what the drill is. And another big tip that you wanna know is that obviously the ability to go ahead and have different levels of routes to make sure that you've got dump off passes is big. I'm doing the worst route combination possible for this for a good reason, because I'm trying to make sure that I don't go ahead and dump it off to anybody, because that's not the purpose of the drill. So do it one more time here, do this here, look at these guys. All right, we're doing it here. Now I'm gonna go this way with it, and I'm gonna show you basically what I saw and why I did what I did, okay? So this is the kind of the last example we're gonna do. I'm in the pocket, and I go ahead and I see that we're basically good on the right side, good on the left side. Then this guy comes in. You see where now I'm in that oh crap moment, this guy's coming in. So what I'm doing here is I see that I'm gonna start moving my guy to the right. You see how I move that one step to the right? This is about retargeting. See, he's gonna come at me. I go the right one step with my quarterback, and then he set up that pocket. Now at this point, I look at this guy and I said, uh-oh, this guy's got outside leverage over here. If I go to the right, he's gonna get it. So I slide up in the pocket, and then I'm gonna go back this way where all our guys are at, and now I'm in the spot where I'm gonna be able to throw it. This is the type of stuff that you're gonna be able to navigate in the pocket the more you do this drill. I feel like this is gonna be the one thing that's gonna get you better as a passer than anything, is understanding and feeling the pocket and being able to move. But do this drill, get better at it, get better at it, get better at it, then it's gonna come second nature to you when you play. So these tips today, guys, were basically just to say, how can I get better at picking up the blitz? How can I get better at setting up my line to be able to cover all the things that I want to when it comes to giving myself the best opportunity to get more time in the pocket, navigate the pocket, and be a better passer because of it. Hope you guys learned something. If you have, you got all the way to the end of the video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It does help us a lot, and we do appreciate all your time that you guys have dedicated to us, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.